Today, we're going to Paris. Paris is the capital of France, in the north of the country, on the river Seine. High-speed trains connect Paris with Brussels, Amsterdam, London, and many French cities, which makes it very practical for a short city trip. The Eiffel Tower was built for the 1889 World's Fair, held 100 years after the French Revolution. It took 2 years, 2 months, and 5 days to build, which is remarkably fast for a structure of this size. It was not loved by everyone at first. Many artists and writers thought it looked too industrial for Paris. The tower also had a temporary permit. It was originally allowed to stand for only 20 years, but it survived because it became useful for scientific experiments and radio transmission. So the famous romantic symbol of Paris started as a bold piece of engineering. The river Seine runs through the center of Paris and gives the city one of its clearest visual lines. A cruise works especially well because you see the city from a lower, calmer angle. The bridges, stone quays, museum fronts, and church towers feel connected in a way they often do not when you are walking at street level. Paris has dozens of bridges, but one of the most interesting is Pont Neuf. Despite the name meaning new bridge, it is the oldest standing bridge across the river Seine in Paris. The riverbanks are also UNESCO listed, which says a lot about how much of the city's history is concentrated along the water. The Louvre began as a fortress around 1190, long before it became a museum. Later, it became a royal palace, and in 1793, during the French Revolution, it opened as a public museum. That is why the building feels so layered. Medieval fortress, royal residence, and museum all in one place. The collection is enormous, with hundreds of thousands of works. Only a part of it can be displayed at any one time. The Mona Lisa is the most famous painting here, but it is smaller than many people expect, about 77 by 53 centimeters. Outside, the glass pyramid is much newer. It opened in 1989 and still works because it gives the old palace a sharp modern contrast. The Arc de Triomphe was ordered by Napoleon in 1806, but it was not completed until 1836. It stands at the center of a star-shaped square where 12 avenues meet. From above, that layout is one of the clearest examples of Paris as a planned, monumental city. The climb to the terrace has 284 steps, and the view is very different from the Eiffel Tower view. Here, you see the streets spreading outward, the Champs-Élysées below, and the Eiffel Tower off to the side. Under the arch is the tomb of the unknown soldier from the First World War. Its flame is rekindled every evening. The safest way to reach the monument is the underground passage. The traffic circle is not something to test on foot. Montmartre was once a village outside Paris. It only became part of the city in 1860. That explains why it still feels different from the grand boulevards below. The streets are steeper, smaller, and less formal, with stairs, corners, café terraces, and small squares. At the top stands Sacré-Cœur. Construction began in 1875, but the basilica was only consecrated in 1919. Its white color is not just paint. The stone releases a pale mineral layer when it reacts with rainwater, which helps the building keep its bright look. Montmartre is also strongly linked with artists. Picasso, Modigliani, and many others lived or worked in the area when it was cheaper, rougher, and much less polished than it feels today. Notre-Dame is one of the oldest major monuments in this list. Construction began in 1163 and continued for more than 2 centuries. That long building period is visible in the cathedral's scale and detail. Towers, portals, rose windows, sculptures, and flying buttresses all working together. The 2 front towers are about 69 meters high. The fire of 2019 destroyed the spire and much of the roof, and the restoration became a worldwide story. The cathedral reopened in December 2024. Even from outside, there is a lot to look at. The flying buttresses are especially important. They helped support the high walls and made larger windows possible. So the building is not only beautiful, it is also a lesson in medieval engineering. Musée d'Orsay was originally a railway station. It was built for the 1900 World's Fair, and that explains the shape of the building. The long hall, the glass roof, the large clock, and the sense of open space. The museum opened in this building in 1986. Its collection focuses mainly on art from the mid-19th century to the early 20th century. That makes it easier to understand than the Louvre if you do not want to spend a full day in one museum. It is especially known for Impressionist and Post-Impressionist art, with names like Monet, Degas, Renoir, Cézanne, and Van Gogh. The building itself is part of the visit. You are looking at art inside a former station, and you never really forget that. Opéra Garnier opened in 1875 and was designed by architect Charles Garnier. The building was made for opera, but also for Parisian society. The grand staircase was not only a way to move through the building, it was a place to be seen. That explains the marble, gold, mirrors, chandeliers, and balconies. The public areas are almost as theatrical as the stage. The auditorium seats just over 2,000 people, and its ceiling was painted by Marc Chagall in 1964. That modern ceiling inside a 19th century opera house is one of the details that makes the interior so interesting. The building is also connected with the Phantom of the Opera, helped by the real underground water reservoir beneath it. The Champs-Élysées runs for about 1.9 kilometers between the Arc de Triomphe and Place de la Concorde. This is not a quiet little Paris street. It is broad, commercial, busy, and built for spectacle. The avenue is used for major national events, including the Bastille Day Parade, and it is also the traditional final stretch of the Tour de France. So the value here is scale and symbolism, not cozy charm. Walk a section rather than forcing yourself to spend half a day here. And if you add a macaron stop, that is probably the right level of commitment. A small sweet thing works well on a very big avenue. Sainte-Chapelle was built in the 13th century for King Louis IX. It was designed to house important Christian relics, including the crown of thorns. So this was not just a decorative chapel. It was a royal building with a very specific religious purpose. The upper chapel is the part people remember. It has 15 tall stained glass windows, with 1,113 scenes from the Bible. The walls are surprisingly thin compared with the amount of glass. That is why the room can feel almost weightless when the light comes through. It is not a long visit, but it is one of the most intense interiors in Paris. Stone structure, medieval storytelling, and color all packed into one space. For a first visit to Paris, the best tip is simple. Do not plan by distance alone. On a map, many places look close. In reality, museum entrances, security lines, bridges, metro changes, and crowds can easily slow everything down. Choose one major visit per half day, especially if it is a museum or a monument with timed entry. Then, leave space between the planned stops. That space is often where Paris works best. A bakery window, a quiet courtyard, a bridge view, a street corner you did not plan, or 10 minutes by the River Seine without checking the next reservation. Paris is not difficult because there is too little to see. It is difficult because there is too much. So choose well, leave room, and let the city breathe a little. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe to the channel for free so you do not miss the next cities. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.